you really have to start off on the right foot when it comes to receiving materials into your facility. You want to know, okay, first of all, what the weight of that material is. You want to know who received it. And you want to know a whole bunch of data associated with the receiving event. You also want to be able to sample it, send that sample off to the laboratory so that you can know whether to take it out of quarantine or not. The things that would take it out of quarantine would be, okay, it's okay on pesticides. Yeah, it doesn't have any solvents in it. We've received materials with solvents in it, believe it or not. You know, does it have the potency that the C of A that the farmer gave us had? Does it have that potency? So this is what we use for our receiving station. It really forms the basis of our quality station. It's called the IGW. I give you an idea here what that looks like. You have basically you have a dashboard here, and then you can also select all the different processes. In this case, we're going to be doing a receiving process. I have to log in here every time I do a new process. That just shows that, hey, the data has integrity to it. And here I can show you basically starting a process. What's cool about it is that I can assign equipment to this. So anything that's in this you know, work cell, if you will, has equipment assigned to it. Okay, and in this case, we have some you know, scales assigned to it. We select the scales, and then we also select whether or not it's calibrated or cleaned. That's where we're taking a lot of the you know, records that are associated with like cleaning and calibration and doing daily updates on them. And that's all goes into a database. So it's pretty nice along those lines. I'm going to just press next here. And it goes into basically a questionnaire that has to do with, okay, who's the manufacturer? What is the vendor lot number? What is the material? You can use this to, for example, receive standards, chemicals in, if you want to trace the lot of ethanol in. If you want to trace things like the lot of, obviously, like a bag of this stuff, which would be, you know, hemp. Or if you have different types of trim or whatever. So it's kind of gives you, it's a full system. What's nice about tracking your solvents is, especially if you have things like expiration dates on your excipients, those are things that you need to track. And then different material forms, whether it's an ingredient or in process, who it's delivered by. I'll just go ahead and print that out there. What this species is, and whether or not it's organic. It's important that you have, if you're an organic facility, that you have be able to trace in separate streams with separate equipment, separate cleaning processes, your organic from your non-organic. So that's what that is. Also, there's a visual inspection tied to this step. The visual inspection is okay, is it free from foreign matter and debris? That's the key criteria. You can also put in notes in there. For example, if it fails a visual inspection, from this step, this receiving step, it automatically goes into quarantine. So that's pretty cool. We also have a list of documents, SOPs that are tied to this. And you can also select and upload certificates or C of A's certificates to that. I'll give you an example here. I mean, this is some sample here of some product that we would get in. You can see it's got some buds in it. It's got some sticks. This is a very typical sample. You can see some of this has been, it's got some fan leaf in there. These buds are pretty nice. They got, I think that this is like a 5 or 6% material, something along those lines. So what we would do is we would basically take this, we put it on the scale. In this case, I'm gonna tear it like this, put it on here. So it's 17 pounds approximately. I'm gonna print that off, and the tear weight here. I have different container profiles. I add that in and I save it. Then it prints out this this barcode here. The barcode then goes on the container, and it now knows what that is. I'm gonna go ahead and close the lot. Once I close that lot, I'm gonna download the receipt, and then I will print this receipt. So the receipt can go with with this, or it can go into your quality system, or it can go into a notebook. What's nice about that is it's got a receipt. It prints out, and you're able to really use that as a traveler as it goes through the system. So it's pretty nice. Now, this system also works for every process. It's basically the same thing. You got materials in, you test your materials. You got materials in and product out. So you're weighing your materials in, you're weighing your product out, you're weighing your waste out. You're basically knows that I did it and that I'm in this lab and in this facility here. So yeah, and then you can see it outputs nice reports. So this can go with it along with barcodes. You can use this to track and trace all your materials along with what test information goes with it. The other thing that you can do here with this is pretty nice. I'm not going to spend too much more time on it, but I did want to show you that it's possible to, for example, log the waste. If there was waste as you're sweeping everything up, you can print out a barcode. The waste will be attached to this lot, so it knows, hey, that's how much waste came from this lot. The other thing that you can do is sample, which is pretty cool. It has a sampling station, so if I switch my station over to a sampling station, I log back in. This is typically a sample lot, and you can see these are all current processes that are pending. In other words, there's people who are waiting for their samples. What's nice about this, and I had mentioned this when I was in the laboratory information system, it's pretty nice because I'm able to really take a sample here. I'm able to tell the laboratory exactly which tests I need, and it's also tied to this lot. So the results here are really attached to the batch record right from the beginning. So it's pretty cool. And I could go through this process real quick here. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll select some equipment. I'll select some actions here and tell you, okay, now it knows that I'm using this particular equipment. I'm going to scan a container. So I'm going to scan this container that I'm going to take it from. And then I'm going to take my sample, put some sample in there. And I need to tell it which station I'm at. I'm going to put in a tare weight of 20. And then I can select my test methods. Okay, I want a moisture done on this. I want a GCMS done on this because I want to know the terpene profile. I want to know the potency. So I'll save that. And it looks like I need to have a container. Here we are, save it. Weight must be greater than 25. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to press select. I'll save it. There we are. And it should print out basically a sample barcode. That sample barcode goes on here. That goes off to the laboratory. Pretty slick. So once the laboratory gets this, they go ahead, they use their beeper, and they find out what the sample is, what the requirement is for, okay, who requested it, what they requested. Then they do the sample tests, and then they put it into the system so that it's all matched to the batch record. All right, so that's it. Hopefully